Pete Thamel joining us, part of the group that from Yahoo that broke this story last night. And we are really eager to hear Pete and everyone's reaction to what has just ended. The three commissioners, Phillips, Warren, and Kliavkoff from the Big 12, the Big 10, the ACC, and the Pac-12. The Big 12 was not part of this. Pete, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what was accomplished today?
You know, the cynic in me, Paul, would consider it the Seinfeld alliance, the alliance that's about nothing, because there just really wasn't a lot delivered today. I think that clearly, institutionally at these places, I'm going to try to avoid buzzwords because, boy, there were buzzwords today, my big takeaway was the Big Ten probably isn't going to expand, and that all these leagues were clearly shook by what the SEC did, and in doing that, they wanted to band together. They're not entirely sure how they're going to band together specifically, other than by rhetoric, certainly not by signed contract, which was one of the big takeaways from today. And they certainly want to declare themselves above the Big 12, and I think unintentionally they set a line that they're certainly going to be below the SEC in the pecking order, but they're going to be together. And that's what we learned. I think if anything struck me today, it's that George Kliavkoff's been on the job a month, and his league, which has really been a non-factor in the highest levels of football, has managed to align itself with levels above it. So I give him credit for that. And if they can move from 9 league games to 8, as he mentioned, and the Big Ten does the same thing, and they can add value for their upcoming TV deal. That was fairly significant, I thought. But in terms of tangible, there was not a lot of tangible, Paul.
And Pete, I don't want to get too hung up on the optics, but we live in a world of visuals, and it just, you tell me, for three titans of the industry, was it too much to ask that they show up to be in the same place and have something that was well produced, as opposed to it looked like some academic presentation?
Optics didn't bother me. I think if they had concerns, it should have been more about the substance than the optics.
Okay, well, regardless, though, Pete, I mean, if you're watching, you're not only getting a good visual, you're not getting anything else, and which leads me to why did they do it? And I know you've already answered this, Pete, but if you're going to show up for a press conference, have something to say, right?
Yes, in a way, you know, Kliavkoff offered the most substance in a lot of ways. He said there's issues in the margins of the college football playoff. Well, that's pretty significant, right? They clearly are trying to sort of wrest some power back. They weren't happy that none of those 3 leagues were directly involved with the writing of the 12-team playoff proposal. Kliavkoff made it clear again that they're in favor of 12 teams, but maybe not all of the details that go around it. Certainly, I can't imagine any of them wanting ESPN to exclusively have the college football playoff, which is one of the big undercurrents of this of this alliance. And so, yeah, there was not a lot of specificity, and I'm sure in terms of academically, like the presidents can all, claim victory, but I can't imagine. Let's put it this way. Sean Sullivan, our podcast producer for the College Football Inquirer podcast at Yahoo, basically sent a text after and said, "Can't wait to make fun of this on the pod this week." That I think that was just kind of and he's a big Tennessee guy. That was kind of the SEC reaction, is just like, man, can't believe they did all this to tee us up for some good content. So, again, there is some significance in this if it does form some things that are tangible. The ACC has a television contract through 2036. So how much tangible can come out and be a paradigm changer for the ACC is really hard for me to see. But I would think the presidents in that league, most of them anyway, probably liked the drawing a line in the sand, that kind of thing. And what could this really be, Paul? Say the SEC wants to go to 100 scholarship limits, and these leagues don't. They can stop the SEC from doing that. The CFP, there'd be some element of control there too. So there could be some tangible things that come out of this. There just isn't, quite frankly, a lot of it right now. And the most immediate tangible thing that I can see is with the Pac-12 and Big Ten rights coming up within the next 5 years, some sort of scheduling arrangement that helps juice up those TV deals to maybe help the Big Ten stay in the neighborhood of the SEC.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.